Bagi aku, pengalaman adalah guru yang paling berharga. Kita jadi punya cerita dan karya, dan aku akan mencatatnya untukmu. Subscribe dan tekan loncengnya ya. Terima kasih. Halo guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is the second part of our discussion to Mr. Dimar as a debater coach from Riau province. And in this video, especially in part 2, we would like to dig his understanding or his experience about debating championship itself, and we try to analyze together, reverse our discussions about critical thinking is not about survival thinking. So, hopefully you could understand about this discussion, and don't be afraid to speak up English because learning is talking about the process, not only about the result. Check it out and happy watching.
Yes. And based on my information also, one of the critical thinker person is the way to organize the idea, try to plan the idea, try to find the solutions of the case. Yeah, it's kinds of critical thinker. So they try to organize their thinking, right? So it happens in the better and in coaching. So I'm sure that you have many experiences, and then you already found many kinds of students characteristic. Yeah, many students want to be debaters, but they do not have many models or what we call many acknowledged to be debaters, right? It's more difficult because the students could not elaborate their ideas, so maybe you can tell to us about the implementations of or the strategy, the challenge when you have the students like that, how to change these kinds of the students become critical one.
Usually, that's a common problem. Not only the student who have limited
Yeah,
English,
yeah,
but also students who have a good English who can speak fluently.
yeah.
Not all of them have the same problem because the basic of the debate is not actually having good English. It's about having a logical thinking. This skill is not something that actually well developed in our student because we do not we do not really ask the student to think critically. For example, like students, when the students being asked to explain something, it is very difficult for them to explain something. For example, why do you think the cat always try to cover its poop when the cat poop? When we ask that simple question, students usually cannot give answer. They will just answer, well, because they want to do it. So because it is their instinct, just like that.
Mhm.
So, uh, so in debate, we need to keep asking students a lot of things. So in the beginning, the strategy is to always ask more questions. For example,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we
yeah,
will
yeah.
ask
That's
a
true.
simple question. So we do not stop only when they say I don't know, or maybe because it's this. We have to continue the question. For example, why do you think the cat cover its poop? They will answer like because it's their instinct. What do you mean instinct here? Well, that is how they are taught. Really? So we keep asking them
Yeah, yeah.
questions. They until they will
Get
answer
stuck, right?
as many as possible.
Yeah.
So by giving this kinds of example later on, they will practice. They will have their own concept of keep asking everything that comes into their mind. That's the basics of critical thinking. When you do not simply accept something as it is, you question that. For example, why should I go to school? Because your parents ask you so. Why should I go to school simply because my parents taught me so? Yeah, because you must be smart. Why should I be smart?
Yeah.
Well, because if you do not have enough knowledge, then it will be difficult for you to
Yeah.
think like a normal human being.
Yeah.
So why should I be smart? Because later at the end, your parent will no longer be there for you,
Yeah.
and who will you rely on?
Mm-hmm.
At that moment, then they will realize, oh yeah, I need to go to school because one day my parent will not be with me. In my experience, the most important step of building the ability of the student to elaborate their ideas is that to ask them to questions
Yeah.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
So So in the beginning, for example, we will give them one questions, and then we will ask them to think about that, to brainstorm about that topic, and then later after they brainstorm, I will try to ask them about the first question, and until at the end they get the pattern. First, I will answer. It will be the general one, and after that, more specific.
Okay, the last thing, because this channel talking about catatan Nurma, so it means that I have to say my catatan to you, yeah. So today, I learned one thing about critical thinking, and it based on the expert. From this opinion, I thought that survival thinking, it will be different with critical thinking. Survival means like you try to survive with your opinion without considering others' opinion. Your survival thinking involved your attitude and also your emotions and your feeling in here. So critical thinking, who will be critical thinker is someone who deliver the idea but still in controlling their emotions and feeling. So I try to challenge you to observe this opinion as a debater. I mean, like we can see that emotions and also feeling for debaters always happen, but it's only in forum, right? After go out from the forum, they can be like a friend, and then they didn't think again about the problem, right? But some of them, some of the better, try to bring the problem up to the end of their life. So it's not critical thinker. So I learned something from this opinion, that another way to describe the critical thinking is someone who really responsible and also skillful about his or her thinking. A person who thinks critically can ask appropriate questions, gather relevant informations, efficiently and creatively sort through these informations. So in here, of course, someone who has critical thinker should care about others' opinion and also others' feeling, right?
Well, I don't know who says that debating is not survival, because the very foundations of debating or critical thinking is simple. It's logic, and
Yeah, okay.
logic is the basic considerations on whatever we want to do. So when we are talking about logic, it means that we have to think rationally what would
Yeah,
be the best options of anything we want to do, or to
okay.
say, on achieving whatever the problem that we want to solve.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me personally,
Mm-hmm.
critical thinking, to be precise, is a game, is a process finding the best truth and the best solution.
Okay,
So
so
it
the
is
truth has
very
the higher
simple.
level of the attitude, you mean?
What I think,
That's really tricky, but I also still learning up to now. So I try to learn about critical thinking, and then we have to know about critical thinking is self-guided. So how is the way of us to guide ourselves? It's not mind talking, but it's the expert, and self-disciplined thinking with attempts to reason at the highest level of quality, aware-minded way. So in here, cognitive and also affective should be considered in critical thinkers. So not only the logical one, but also affective tingkah laku, right?
Yeah.
Also should be.
Yes, of course. The problem is that in our society, especially in Indonesia, when we talk about critical
Yeah,
thinking, people
yeah,
always say, "Oh yeah, critical thinking is good. Critical thinking is good." But
yeah,
when we apply it in real life,
yeah.
when as children try to reason with their parents
Mm-hmm.
through critical thinking,
Yeah, that's true.
that student
Yes,
or
yeah,
that children is
yeah,
considered as rude.
yeah.
That student is considered as inappropriate. That
Mm-hmm.
children is being considered as arrogant. So at the end, critical thinking does not happen simply because we as society misunderstood what is critical thinking. The society suddenly judge, especially the parent, when the children try to reason with them, they suddenly label the kid as pelawan,
Ya, pelawan in
durhaka.
bahasa Sumatera ya.
So
Oke.
there is wrong. I mean, like
Ya,
when
ya.
we do not try to understand the position of the children, or why the what actually what kind of process of thinking
Ya.
that make the children finally
Hmm.
come up with what they say,
Ya.
then we'll never have a critical thinker.
Ya.
Because every
Oke.
time they want to practice, we suddenly, you cannot do that because there is durhaka, there is sinful for you to fight and to reason with your parents. No,
Oke.
we
So,
have, even parents can be wrong.
mhm.
Even parents, we all can be wrong, and we have, when we have admit that we are educating our, we want to educate our children or student, then we should be ready to hear
Ya.
their process of education through their words.
Ya, ya.
So like, so finally at the end, as what you say, it is important to be to have attitude. That only happen when we
Mhm.
also have the attitude to
Yes.
want to listen to them.
Yes, so it means that parents, as a circumstances or the environment, children's environment, also responsible to create critical thinker one, and then the students also or children could be critical thinker one also, right?
Can we get
Yeah.
a good environment?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only way to get a good environment is to share, to go or to join an environment that can provide us with what we want to get. And in my case,
Yeah.
that I want to practice uh, my critical thinking, my public speaking, and my English. So I try to join those community. In that
Okay.
community, I try to learn
Yeah.
how to reason, how to speak, how to give an argument. It's much in much more better way,
Okay.
in
Okay.
much more elegant way. So if
Okay.
we see people who cannot deliver their argument well and
Mm-hmm.
eventually bring or consider that debate into personal level and become so rude and
Yeah.
become getting emotional,
Mm-hmm.
it's only a matter of experience and practices.
Yes, and
I
also
do
that.
not
Yeah. Okay.
I do not think that I do not think that we should simply label them as arrogant or inappropriate.
Lastly, could you please give the motivation for the teacher and also for the students in Indonesia?
Well, first, critical thinking has become one of the most important skill that every student in 21st century need to have.
Yeah.
It is no denial, it is undebatable. Every student graduated from high school should have that one if they want to survive in this era. In every industry, critical
Mhm.
thinking is one of the most required skill and ability to solve problem critically and logically. Try to be open-minded with differences. Try to be open-minded with opposite argument,
Mhm.
opposite point of view. That's the first. When everyone try to close opportunity of different ideas, then there will be no critical thinking. Critical thinking only can happen when we agree that there will be another point of view other than ours.
Okay,
So
good.
that's the first
Yeah. Yeah.
principle.
Agree. Agree.
Um, to develop it in school, I guess make an English club. That is the most basic one. Debating is good and betting is nice. Once you try to join it, it's gonna be very hard for you to stop because it's addicting. But again, it's a good addiction. You will be smarter, can speak English better, and probably will have a lot of friends, just like us, Nurma.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Dimar, for your time to discuss about your experience. And then, like you listen, listener, Mr. Dimar has many powers and also many energies to learn about the better. Okay, viewers, thank you for watching this video with Mr. Dimar, one of the English debating championship coach from Riau. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.